You're watching CBS 12 News This Morning.
Good Saturday morning. I'm Kristen Chapman. It's just after 6 a.m. on April 18th. Thank you for waking up with us. We have plenty of stories to get to, but first, you might have noticed the rain last night. It was pretty loud across our area, so we'll get straight over to meteorologist Zach Covey.
And it was needed, Kristen. We are in a drought. I'm not saying we as in South Florida. I'm saying we collectively as the state in a drought. And here in South Florida, we are in a moderate drought. So when you see numbers up to an inch there in the green, it is a welcome rainfall. The reason why, the storms were just slow moving. I mean, we had the first few storms moving in around the hours of 5 o'clock and the last few moving out around 1 a.m. this morning. So very much needed rain today. We've got just a little bit of a stalled frontal boundary over our area, but that's about it, clearing skies. Now, take a look though. Yeah, there's a complex of showers and storms across North Florida, and you're saying, it's in North Florida, we don't need to worry about it. But you'd be wrong, because it's going to push a cold front down south later on today, and that will reinvigorate the storm threat this afternoon. Could even be stronger to potentially severe. Temperatures are in the 70s this morning. Look at that fog development. We'll track out when this fog will lift. Plus, we'll track those storms and show you the threats neighborhood by neighborhood. Coming up this hour of CBS 12 News This Morning.
Zach, thanks. Governor Ron DeSantis has given the green light for beaches to reopen in Florida, but he is leaving it up to local leaders to officially make that call. CBS 12's Madeline Montgomery is live with when we can potentially go to the beach again. Madeline?
Kristen, beaches have reopened up near Jacksonville, but down here it doesn't look like beaches or parks are opening anytime soon. In Duval County, beaches are opening up. They started opening yesterday afternoon with restricted hours, but they can only be used for walking, biking, hiking, fishing, running, swimming, taking care of pets, and surfing. Leaders in Palm Beach County say that's not the plan here.
Let me repeat that again. Our private beaches, public beaches, golf courses, boat ramps, they are closed, and they are not opening tomorrow, and they're not opening on Tuesday, and they're not opening on Thursday. They are closed for the foreseeable future.
The mayor also extended the state of emergency for the county. Governor DeSantis says beaches and parks can be reopened as long as social distancing is respected. For now, live in West Palm Beach, Madeline Montgomery, CBS 12 News.
Madeline, thank you. Local city leaders on the Treasure Coast are rolling out the first wave of reopening in Port St. Lucie. After being closed for 3 weeks, boat ramps in Port St. Lucie are back open. The city is taking a slow and steady approach, reminding boaters to stay at least 50 feet apart with no more than 10 people on a boat at a time. Taylor DeFusco makes a living on the water as a fishing guide, but the COVID-19 closures put him out of work.
I'm super stoked that, we're going to start slowly getting back into business. It's going to be a slow thing.
Law enforcement, including local, county, and state agencies, will be on the water reminding people about these social distancing guidelines. The number of confirmed coronavirus cases in the U.S. raced towards 700,000 on Friday, the death toll topping 36,000. Meanwhile, some governors say testing for the virus is still a key obstacle in the president's plan to reopen the country in phases. CBS News correspondent Michael George has more from New York.
President Trump defended his administration's record on coronavirus testing.
We've already built sufficient testing capacity nationwide for states to begin their reopenings.
The president said the country has conducted over 3.7 million tests so far, more than any other country.
Governors are responsible for testing.
Vice President Pence said testing availability is sufficient for states to begin the first phase of the president's guidelines for reopening the country. But some governors disagree.
The president doesn't want to help on testing. He said 11 times, I don't want to get involved in testing. It's too complicated. It's too hard.
Earlier Friday, the president posted tweets saying, "Liberate Virginia, Michigan, and Minnesota," among the states where protesters have rallied against stay-at-home orders.
These are people expressing their views. I see where they are, and I see the way they're working. They seem to be very responsible people to me.
Each of the 3 states is following guidelines from the president's own task force.
I feel like our jobs are all essential in the state of Minnesota.
Michigan's governor says protesters who don't follow social distancing guidelines could cause stay-at-home orders to be extended.
I hope that if people are going to dissent, that they do so in a manner that doesn't compromise their safety or the safety of others.
In Falls Church, Virginia, people waited in line outside this fabric store, many hoping to buy material for makeshift masks recommended by the CDC.
Well, I work for the nursing field, and we all need masks. Our patients need masks, so we have to buy supplies in order to make sure our patients are protected.
And Boston's mayor urged people not to run the Boston Marathon route on Monday. The annual race has been postponed until September because of the coronavirus. Michael George, CBS News.
We now know Florida's unemployment rate jumped to 4.3% in March as thousands of workers continue to be laid off, crippling the state's unemployment website. Now, to fix the failing system, this week, Governor Ron DeSantis appointed John Sater as the new head of the unemployment application response team. He also waived laws slowing the process. This allows the state to instantly process 80,000 applications. Still, of the nearly 650,000 people that have filed a claim, only 121,000 have received payment as of April 11th.
It just baffles my mind that in Port Canaveral, they send rocket ships into space, but in Tallahassee, they can't fix the unemployment system.
The governor says an additional 100 servers were also installed, which will increase the reemployment website capacity. This morning, the Treasure Coast's most popular farmers market turns into a drive-through. You can buy everything you typically do at the farmers market in downtown Fort Pierce, but now just right from your own car. The hours are from 8 to noon at Lawnwood Stadium. For the latest updates on the coronavirus crisis, resources, or any answers to many of your questions, we have a complete list of information on our CBS 12 News app and our website, cbs12.com. If you're looking for the latest numbers of COVID-19 cases in your specific zip code, we have an interactive map at cbs12.com as well. Coming up, experts warn putting on a mask or taking it off the wrong way could spread the very virus we're trying to avoid. How to do it correctly so that we all stay safe. Plus, SpaceX is about to do something it hasn't done in almost a decade, where their astronauts will take off from next.